Over time from Bremont, the Supermarine collection has become my favorite from the brand, and this fantastic 40mm version is maybe the best of the bunch. Welcome back to the channel for Right Time Watches here in Denver, Colorado. I'm excited to be taking a closer look today at this amazing Bremont Supermarine watch. This one comes in at a slightly more wearable 40mm and has an amazing ghost looking bezel. Before we dig into all of its details though, we'll invite you to subscribe to the channel so you catch all of our upcoming videos. This watch has a 40mm diameter with a 48.8mm lug-to-lug distance, 13.1mm thick, and powered by a Swiss chronometer GMT. One thing I always love about a Bremont watch is they come supplied in these very cool blue leather Bremont watch rolls. These are very high quality and a fun addition to the overall watch package. This 40mm version of the Bremont Supermarine stands on its own, however, as it's not only gorgeous but extremely functional. One common complaint about Bremont wristwatches, especially the Supermarine, is that they wear a little bit large. This one is pared down quite a bit with this 40mm triptych case and a very wearable lug-to-lug. This is obviously a huge benefit to watch collectors because it makes it more approachable for many with smaller wrists, and not only that, it maintains its 300 meters of water resistance, and this model adds a GMT. If you've been on the hunt for a very tough GMT watch, this is certainly one to consider. When you get hands-on with this timepiece, the quality is evident, as we're used to with Bremont watches. The steel and finishing always feels fantastic, and has a very slight domed sapphire crystal over top. As I mentioned, this one has the signature triptych case, which will make this very shock resistant, meaning you can wear this in almost any scenario and it will keep on ticking. The functionality for this watch is very simple. We've got a screw-down crown here on the right side of the case, which is very easy to access. Pulling the crown out to the second position allows you to change the time, and pulling the crown out to the first position lets you change that GMT hand as well as the date. One thing I notice is this watch feels very substantial and well built, which I really appreciate, especially with a little bit of a higher price tag. The GMT bezel is a little bit different as it's basically just a diver bezel with a 24-hour marking on it, so it is unidirectional, but it does feel quite nice. The bracelet here matches the build quality of the rest of the watch. It feels very substantial and has a nearly all satin finish on it, making it fit that utilitarian mold that this watch is cast in. It does have a nice Bremont signature on this deployant buckle clasp, and it does have one micro adjust on the clasp, meaning you can get a very nice fit with this one. The caseback has a lovely airplane engraving on it, calling back to their heritage as a brand. This is 300 meters water resistant, and underneath there's a chronometer grade modified Salida movement, which of course has that GMT functionality. The lume on its own is not going to sell this watch, but when you combine it with everything else, it certainly does the job, and it's not a detractor for me in any way. What does sell this watch though is its wearability. Of course, that 40mm diameter is just about as universal as it gets, especially for a dive style watch. This Supermarine with 300 meters of water resistant just feels great. Typically you'd have a much larger, bulkier watch with that type of rating, and this one is fantastic and very wearable. And lastly, I'd like to point out how much I love the vintage colorway on this piece. This light bluish gray dial and bezel have a lovely ghost look to it, and I think it works perfectly with that light orange. Overall, this $4,400 watch is a good one to add to any collection. This watch, and truly the entire series of Supermarine watches from Bremont, are absolutely fantastic. The build quality is there, and the design is great as well. If you'd like to purchase this watch or any of our others, please visit us online at righttime.com or give us a call. We're always happy to help. As always, thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you next time at Right Time.